Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing? Or as Chris says, hey, what day is it? It's Thursday, one day after Hump Day. Did you bring up Hump Day yesterday, Chris? Where were you? Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Royal Palms. Sterling's putting in the early earnings. Hope all is well with you and your family, Sterling. You've been in my prayers. Good morning, Holy. Uh, what's this? China's flown in their new anti-ship missiles. We'll see. We will see. Things definitely heating up. Good morning, Yogi. Good morning, David Atkins. Beat morning. John Deere posted some decent results. Uh, hey Sterling, can you put in Carvana's from yesterday afternoon? That one, but actually put in the beat number on what was it? Revenue. Fraud Vanna. Oh my goodness. It completed its double. It's completed its double top. Good morning, Zello. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Heinrich. What is this? From from earnings, the best setup is Yeti. It has a 4-hour daily potential double top. The 4-hour R zone is out of the way with the 200 at the first target. Huh. We'll have to take a look at. I'm not gonna be able to spend a lot of time looking at stuff. I have a call I have to jump on. Yeah. Big shout out to Sterling. You always give a shout out to Sterling. Hey, Daniel, how are you doing? Hello, Charles. Oh boy, did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't. Again, thank you for putting in. Walmart was a beat stock flat. John Deere was a beat stock up 5%. Wayfair beat stock down 12%. Molson Coors Beverage Company beat miss, stock down 5%. Etsy beat miss on revenue, stock up 20%. I wonder what's driving that one. I did not look at that. DoorDash miss, stock up 8.49%. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, poor old Jack. Jack uh is down. Yeti Holdings beat stock down 6.53%. AA eBay beat stock up 6.17. All right. Good morning, Balaji. Hello. Did I say hello, Charles? All right. I think I got everyone. I think I got it. Is there anybody else ready for this week to be over? And we have to deal with option expiration tomorrow. I'm all ready for this week to be over. All right. We have the balance of trade. Uh, Consensus was minus 55 billion, coming in at minus 70 billion. Balance of trade not headed the right way for some people. What else? We had initial jobless claims coming in at 206, so drop there below consensus. Continuing jobless claims slightly above census, coming in at 1869K. We got the Philly Fed business conditions, big jump there. Uh, Employment, though, big plummet there. New orders dropping, prices paid coming down slightly from the Philly Fed. We got cash and carry speaking at 9 a.m. We got pending home sales. We got Consumer Board leading index for December and January. We have the EIA numbers delayed from yesterday, but we already have the rocket ship called Crude heading on up. Remember, tomorrow we have the PCE, the GDP PCE numbers, and the monthly PCE numbers for December, and option expiration tomorrow. We are not out of the woods yet. Good morning, Anissa. Yeah. How much are they down still? Earning they beat on EPS 4.22 versus 1.14. Yeah, I was thinking of the EPS number. It was absolutely absurd. And they sold off on those. I mean, it's getting, but we'll talk about that another day. I don't have a lot of time today. Thank you again for putting in all the earnings after the close. We have Open Door, Transocean, Newmont Mining, Sprouts, Texas Roadhouse, but nothing that's really going to move the markets. And then tomorrow morning, not much at all. It's all going to be focused on the PCE numbers that are coming out and option expiration. Carvana's down 7.34%. It was down more last night. So, boy, we can't get any fun. We did officially have the percent beat buy trigger. We still have the 4-hour double in play. The rotation zone was resistance yesterday. We didn't even get to the first double target. We're just keep getting some selling pressure. Now, is it off the table? Nope, not yet. Not yet. So right now, I'm looking a little closer to right around 68.55, 68.57 of support area. And then if we drop below that, I'm looking, see, that's right around this 50%. I'm looking at 68.41.50. The official, remember, the official point for the invalidation of the double is 68.31. It has not moved yet. However, I'm going to be looking at 68.41.50. And if we close below that, I'll start looking for a retest of the low area from the rally, the mid-morning rally on Tuesday. So that's where we sit right now. Other than that, we still have a percent beat buy and the double that was triggered yesterday. What would be interesting, I always get information if these patterns do fail. It provides me information. Now, this is an interesting week, though, because we have options expiration. To the upside, it's now got a break today, roughly around 69.08, 69.07. Before, if I was looking to do something other than the already triggered patterns, that's where I'd have to get above. Other than that, that's key resistance. And remember, the first major target on any rally I'm looking is the 69.42 area. On that, looking at this 50% retracement area, really key from the lows on Tuesday to the highs yesterday. NASDAQ, we have not triggered the only thing you have is a daily double, the little percent beat buy into the rotation zone and dropping back down. Remember, my first targets on these percent beat buys, if they're against the rotation zone, are the rotation zone. So that's where it gets tricky and tight with these. So they have to be managed closely if they're slamming into the rotation zone, or you just don't take them. Other than that, I'm just looking at the little retracement again. 24,788 area, 789 area going into the open. If it drops below there, 24,704. Those are the couple levels. It's now got to push above 25,030 for me to put on the intraday bullish hat. But remember, the NASDAQ has never even flipped the probabilities yet. And I'm still looking for the reconnection with the 200. Unless the only thing that changes my tune is if we do trigger this double bottom. That's the only thing that changes my tune on the NASDAQ. The Dow triggered a little double yesterday, no follow through whatsoever, and turned into a channeling double. Still technically not off the table, but not looking good. The technical level for off the table is roughly a close below 49,404. Okay, I'm looking at the Dow to see how it opens in regards to this channel. We're right at the bottom area of the channel. Other than that, targets would remain same to the upside, but today, for intraday stuff, it would have to get above 49,865. The Russell, remember, it did not have a valid double, and it's just channeling. It's doing this channel, upward sloping channel. So I'm looking closer to about 2642 to see if that holds support. VIX, not really dropping much at all. At all. So, remember also I said, unless we really started getting some traction on the VIX, can't get overly bullish. The DAX, not much to talk about at all. It does have, at this point, it does have a horribly sloppy, but still counts double top. So that's really, with the 200 right in the way, that's really the only thing that can get me negative. Other than this is just range trading in the DAX. The 10-year yields triggered a percent beat buy yesterday. My first target, remember, is 4.12 area, but going to be monitoring this one closely because we got the descending rotation zone. So might have to tighten that up a little and aggressively move up stops. By the way, the 30-year has not invalidated, after hitting the first and second target, has not invalidated the head and shoulders. Like the 10-year was done. This one's not done. Now, this one we also had the a percent beat buy triggered yesterday. A little more upside to the first target. And by the way, these, if you're in anything yield related, be very careful with the PCE numbers coming out tomorrow. Gold, still in the pullback flagging channel. Still, nothing's changed. Still, on the secondary reaction, we have not been able to get above the 62.5 harmonic. But there's no bearish setup just yet. Silver, we still have the little inverse potential head and shoulders. Nothing's triggered there. By the way, this would have to get also out of the way of the rotation zone before I do anything long on the silver side with it. Crude, there you go. There's your crude. Approaching that 75% harmonic. Nothing else new. We never to double, by the way, with this rotation back up yesterday. Remember, we did have that sloppy double is off the table. Holding the 200, holding key support, and then the big move up. Still, we remember we had the probability shift back on the end of January. None of these pullbacks invalidated that, so I'm still looking for to reconnect with the 75 and the 87.5. The only, at this point, the only thing that would change my tune is back below the 50. If we close back below the 50. Dollar index, some strength there. Remember, it never flipped the probabilities back down from this pullback. And we're moving back on up. Next target for me is between about 98 and 98.20. That's the next target area for me. What else? Where's our Bitcoin? Retesting support from the end of last week. Still, resistance zone has the rotation zone has proven to be very key resistance. Key little thing I'm watching if Bitcoin keeps going down is below 64,368 on a closing basis. What is going on here? Well, let's see. The U.S. economy is now relying on older Americans like never before. Age 55 plus now represent 45.3% of all consumer spending. That's not necessarily a good thing. Wow, those numbers, you can read it in the gap between the two groups has narrowed by 35 percentage points over the last 25 years, on track to converge for the first time in history. Interesting. Good morning, Ted. Are you buying even more energy stocks? Holy. What else? We'll just get through these other things. Could we do, oh boy. I'll see. I remember I have to jump real quick. Let me just get through this. Spiders triggered the percent beat buy yesterday, gap down today. So on any rally, it'd be for the gap fill. Other than that, watch very key support about this 682.75 area. If that starts breaking, then I'm looking for the 682.46, but the key level in the sand for me is 680.79. The Qs triggered a percent B buy into the rotation zone. Remember, the only thing that makes, just like the futures, we do have a potential double. That's the only thing that shifts me into bullish mode on the NASDAQ or the Qs. Little gap down today, so on the rally, 605.79 would be the gap fill target. IWM caught in thing again. IWM, I'll only look for shorts if we start breaking down below the 50 EMA. But then I really would only start getting more aggressive below 255.51 on a closing basis. Other than that, this is just cotton consolidation. There's not much going on there. What else do we have? Oh boy. Yeah, can we do it tomorrow, Charles? Will you remind me? What was the one Sterling? What did you want me to look at? What was the good setup, Sterling? I just had to look at this. Carvana was down here at one point after hours. By the way, when a double completes after hours, I will take it off or unwind the position after hours. So trying to bounce back a little, but again, we will see Carvana below 100 at some point again. Mark those words. What else? What was it? What did you have in there, Sterling? Yeti. Thank you. Yeti does have a nice double top. Sterling, your description handled it perfectly. Double top pattern. Double top pattern. Not yet triggered. Might not even trigger today. We'll see. Double top pattern. Out of the way of that, let's just take a look at that weekly. Still, that's your only negative. So it'd have to be, I'd manage this a little tighter if this did at least start moving down a stop when it gets to the bottom of the weekly rotation zone. That's the only thing with it being right there. That's the only negative to that pattern. Other than that, I'm curious. How does that line up with... There we go. That's interesting. That's really interesting. All right. So that could be interesting short setup. Might not trigger though. We'll see. We shall see. Thank you for putting that out. Here, I can look at them real quick. Else, there it is. Live cattle futures. That a double obviously didn't trigger. You got another potential double. You have another potential double. Right there. Finally reconnected with the 87.5, though. It tipped the 87.5 rule. So that doesn't mean that's the end, but that's the only thing that could change that. Other than that, back to highs, back to major resistance area. And you have a potential double top. So that is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. If it did break out, I haven't traded cattle in so many years. So if it did break out, wow. But I'd be looking, this is major, major resistance all the way back to last August. But I would not get short anything unless it triggers that double. It might still go up, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't short anything unless it triggered that double. If it does take out those highs, the next major harmonic is 259. So very, very interesting. This double better hit first target today on NQ. All right. with that story, I have to jump into other things. So I will be here back tomorrow morning. Thank you for everybody who contributed to chat. Thank you for all the earnings, Sterling, and the other news, everyone. And I'll be back tomorrow for OpX Friday. And we can look, if you want, we can look at soybeans tomorrow. Just remind me, Charles. Uh, I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.